All right, everyone, welcome to episode 17 of Orlando Out of Context. We're almost legal. We're almost 18. Welcome to the Halloween episode. Please follow us on Instagram at Orlando Out of Context. Visit us at orlandooutofcontext.com and listen and subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. And make sure you go give us a review on iTunes. I'm Bryan.
I'm Stephanie.
And once again, welcome to the Halloween episode.
Which is my episode. I've been so pumped to do this. Halloween is my thing. Bryan hates Halloween.
I mean, he doesn't
hate
Halloween.
it, but he's not a fan. So today I brought my other friend, Bryan with a Y.
Hey.
He's going to be here to review some of Orlando's Central Florida, Orlando, and another activity we found in Dade City, which is just a short drive from Orlando.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that stuff today and give you some tips, some pro tips for those places, and so you guys can get out there and experience Halloween Orlando style, which is quite different from the places that we all grew up. Mm-hmm. So let's talk with Bryan and see, tell us about your history, how you came to Orlando.
I came to Orlando in 2010. I did the college program. I worked in Magic Kingdom along with Stephanie on our wonderful steam train.
Woo!
And Main Street USA doing parade audience control, which was lovely.
Bryan didn't work there the same time, did you?
No, I was not.
You were already moved to a different area.
I think I was in Oklahoma at the time.
Everyone just comes and goes here in Orlando. It's hard to keep those time frames.
Revolving door.
But.
And then I stayed seasonal for 4 years, coming back from Rochester, New York, and to Orlando for 4 years. And then once seasonal changed their hours from like 40 hours a year to like 150 or 300 or something like that. I stopped for about a couple years, worked at a hotel, and then found that they were hiring full-time positions.
So now you currently are working at Disney.
I am back at Disney full-time. I live south of Claremont, and I work at the All-Star Resort. I've been there since July, and it's awesome.
So did you apply to Disney this time? You applied from home in Rochester?
Yeah.
And then you had the job before you came down?
Yeah.
So you knew you were coming to
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Okay.
I applied like at 1 a.m, and then they messaged me back like 3 days later, and they're like, schedule your interview. And then I had my interview 2 weeks later, and then
So did you come down here for the interview, or was it all
over the phone? But I had 11 days to move.
Gotcha.
Which was thrilling. Drove all the way down here.
So we have, I have like 3 or 4 different activities here in Orlando to talk about today. Let's start out. I think we've done 3 of the 4 together. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, no, we've done them all together, just not this year. Mm-hmm. So let's start with Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, yeah.
This is one that I don't partake in anymore because it's pretty overpriced and it's very crowded, but it's a nice atmosphere.
It's super cool.
If you're like new to Orlando and you haven't done it, you definitely have to try it. Mm-hmm. So, you've been going, you have the Frequent Fear Pass, which allows you to go on all event days. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about how you like to experience that event.
I'm a big fan. I'm also a pass holder for Universal Studios, so I'm always there.
One of the perks of living here.
One of the very big perks of living here.
Being able to go to the parks whenever you want if you're a pass holder.
Yeah, preferred pass holder, free parking, and no blackout dates. It's awesome. And I just like it, especially because of the themes they were doing this year. They were doing Poltergeist and
they're doing Stranger Things, right?
And
I would kind of want to do the Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I saw some Instagram photos and it looked very detailed. Like I've never seen one episode of Stranger Things.
Oh, it's so good.
It's a good series.
The photos on Instagram looked really cool. They looked.
Have you been through the Stranger Things house?
Yep.
And how is it?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I have been so far since it opened last month. I have been to a total of 8 times.
Oh my gosh.
And you're headed there after this episode, right?
I am set to head there after this episode. Yes.
Gotta get your money's worth.
Gotta get my money's worth. I paid about like $114. That's with my pass holder discount,
which isn't bad.
Not too bad.
That's not bad.
If you're gonna go, like for now, it's open practically 3 months, right?
Yeah.
The way that they're opening things so early for Halloween, so
yeah.
114 That's not too bad
if
for
you
3
go
months.
one time, I think it's.
I don't know
like
how anybody can honestly
$80?
go one time to try to experience.
Do you know what the regular
it all.
price is?
It's like somewhere between $65 and $85 for
one
time
night.
for
But I'm
one
talking
night at
about like
Hornet.
the fear pass for if you're not a pass holder.
If you're not a pass holder, it's like about $120, $130.
That's still good because
Yeah, that's
the
a good deal.
rides are
Times.
open.
Yeah, the Rip Ride Rocket's open. Men in Black, the Mummy, Transformers,
And they all have super short lines
that's all. And
because
they're like
people are
less
mostly
than 20
there
minutes.
for the houses.
I think that's a
It's
pro.
awesome.
That's a pro tip.
That's
Yeah.
a pro tip for
It's a
sure.
pro-
If you
tip.
want to experience, well, you're not going to experience Harry Potter, right?
Oh no, sorry, Gringotts is open too. And
well,
Diagon
then
Alley's open.
Well, then,
So there you go.
then there you go. That's a pro
You go for
tip.
that one.
That's a pro tip.
Yeah.
If you want to experience Universal,
Even if you can go only twice or 3 times,
Yeah.
It's still worth
that's
it.
still worth
that's
it.
definitely a pro tip.
And definitely.
Can you
go
get
there with
butterbeer?
it. Butterbeer is available, and they have their mixed drinks that they have. They have a Long Island iced tea called Totally Lit, L-I-T, as in Long Island iced tea, and they have their punch, their red punch. I forgot the name.
Every year they have like a different name.
It's some different name, but this theme is the 80s, and they have, of course, the mix. So then if you get them all together, it's called like a gnarly twist.
It kind of
And
sounds fun. With
It's
the
really
80s.
cool.
And I just saw a
I
photo
like
on
that.
Instagram that like got me wanting to go. What is the zombie? What is it? Vampires?
Oh, it's a.
So they had a big, like these huge numbers, and it was 1985,
Yeah.
which was
Okay.
the year I was born.
There you go.
And it's like vampire 80s themed.
Yep.
Which I love vampires too, and I was born in 1985, so I was like, maybe I should go so I can get a picture right there.
You totally should.
So your Instagram is working because it
Yeah.
made me want to go.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of Stranger Things. They've had Walking Dead in the past. I'm guessing
Yeah.
they still have
Walking Dead's not there. Walking Dead was cool, but they were doing it for like so many years. It was
Right.
like, okay, we need something new.
Right, Stranger
Things
Things.
was like the big magnet this year to get
Yeah.
people to go.
So
What
to
are
me-
the other houses before we?
Poltergeist, which is an 80s film.
Right.
Halloween 4, which is a late 80s film. And they have Blumhouse, which has Happy Death Day and The First Purge. I think
Okay.
it's like a double feature.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all the... Oh, they have the movie Trick or Treat, which is like a very independent, low-budget horror movie. And then the other houses they have are the ones that Universal's create themselves. Like, they have one called Seeds of Extinction, which is about like...
How many houses are there?
There's a
There's a
total
lot.
of 6 to 7 houses. It's the most houses they have of any year.
Wow.
So, and they have Dead Exposure, which is like zombie apocalypse patients and all that. And then they have a really cool one. I was talking to you about this one called Slaughter Cinema, where it was about it takes place in a drive-in, but you go through like the snack bar and it smells like popcorn, but then you go through all the different movies that are being shown at the drive-in. I think they do a really good job with their
that's
houses.
one thing about this event, that it's very
They're
commercialized.
very detailed.
And they have a lot of money to spend on making very very ornate houses. Like
Right.
the theming is really cool.
Yeah.
Like everything is very detailed. But that kind of, to me, takes away from it. Like I kind of like that
More raw.
kind of like small townish. It's more scary to me because this event is so busy. They're just basically like pushing you through this house where like a smaller event, they would let you go in like in a single party. So say it was just like you and 3 friends. They would let you guys go in and then they would hold the line and let you experience it alone.
Well, I've been to one house,
but that can't be done at Universal.
I've done it. I've gone to
true.
Universal once because we knew someone who was in a house.
Yes.
And so
that
I've
was
been,
a long time
yeah,
ago.
it was a long time ago. I've been only one house, and that's it. But I do understand like what the environment is like in the
Yeah.
streets and how they kind of have the scare zones as you
So as
walk
you're walking
around,
through.
and the chainsaw guys that run around and scare people. But you're right in the fact, Stephanie, that it's at these it's a continuous stream of people just walking,
Which doesn't allow you to be scared because nobody can
know
jump
what's coming
out.
up.
You're not alone. You're always around a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But, I like the environment. I like meeting up with friends, drinking, just walking around in the streets, sitting and eating snacks. There's like people with chainsaws running
When
around.
I was there,
so-
they had fortune tellers.
Yeah,
too, at
I used to
Universal.
always get tarot card readings. So it's definitely like a nice social hour if you live
I
here.
treat it like it's a bar. Like
Yeah.
if I
Just a
go and
place to
if I
hang
get to
out.
do one house and do like the Mummy or Rip Ride Rocket, it's fine.
Have a drink with some
You know,
friends, have a
or-
snack, and go home.
Yeah.
Just
That's
doing
how I
that
treat
once
it.
or twice a week is really nice.
Yeah.
So
It's a cool breakaway.
You've had the Fear Pass.
I did it maybe the first couple of years I lived here. And then once I started exploring some other things in Orlando, I stopped going to Halloween Horror Nights. So let's move on to the next one, which would be Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at Magic Kingdom, which we did last week.
Last Friday.
Have you ever done it?
Oh yeah, I've done it several times, but I haven't done it recently. I just feel like it's
This
really
is another
good,
expensive
but
event.
it's too expensive because when back in the day, when
back in my day,
when we started at Disney back in the mid 2000s, the cast members could get tickets for like $35 or $40 for the night, and the regular price was maybe $50 to $60. Now it's like the minimum.
Now it's the opposite, because I paid $50 for mine and they paid full price for like, what, $110?
Yeah.
Yeah.
$50 is still not bad.
But it depends on the night.
But that's a cast member rate.
That's a cast member rate.
So now the cast member rate's $50, but I don't have access to cast member rate, so it's the minimum. The minimum you're going to pay without any discounts is $105. It starts at $105 and goes up from there depending on what night. So I just feel like it's a little expensive for one night.
But a pro tip would be if you don't have a Disney pass and you do want to experience Magic Kingdom, this is an awesome opportunity because with the party ticket, you can get in at 4 p.m. And then the party is from, I think, 6 to 12?
Yeah.
Or 7 to 12?
I think it's 7 to 12.
7 to 12? So from 7 to 12, there's a very, limited crowd in the park. So there's
For the rides.
For the rides, there's, no wait. They don't even offer Fast Pass. So you can basically get everything done. Plus, you can see the Halloween parade and the Halloween fireworks and all the Halloween offerings for less than you would pay for a full
We
day
would
at Magic
always
Kingdom.
there's 2 showings of the parade. We would always do the second showing because the second showing of the parade there's less people.
Yeah.
Because everyone watches the first parade, watches the fireworks, and leaves.
Leaves with the kids.
That's what we did. We watched.
Parade,
we stayed till the very
Spectral
end.
Magic, yeah.
But if you live in Florida, in Central Florida, you live in Orlando, you want to spend one day at Magic Kingdom, you don't have a pass, I would definitely pick a party day. And I would just go into the park at 4 and stay till midnight. And it's a lot cheaper.
But
than
the party
if you buy a
party is
one-day
a
pass.
lot. The party is a lot of fun. There's trick or treating.
Yeah.
The characters dress up in their costumes.
You can get as much candy as you really want.
Yeah.
You can, because it's unlimited.
And
Depends
they
on
have good
how
candy
hard.
now. There was a couple years there where they were I don't know what the hell was going on, but they were trying to give me some bootleg Smarties. They were called Sassy Sallies. Really, Disney?
What?
Really? Bootleg Smarties?
Sallies?
And Werther's Original? Who the fuck eats Werther's Original? Not even my grandma.
That's a
I
grand
like
sale, too.
Werther's.
Right now, that's because you're a paw. Well, now they give out Skittles, M&Ms because they're sponsored now.
Right.
Yeah.
So
We're
They're
out
sponsored
of
by Mars.
we're out of the recession and the companies are willing to
We're out of
spend.
the Sassy Sally recession.
Yeah.
that was a rough time. I mean, I've gone to Mickey's Not So Scary every year since 2006, and those were some rough years. Getting that bootleg.
The
candy.
fireworks are awesome too.
They are.
Oh,
They're
this is great.
what Disney calls perimeter fireworks. So when you stand in the park, they are all around you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hocus Pocus show.
Yeah, they have the Hocus Pocus
I
stage
have
show,
seen that.
That's
good.
great.
which is awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know, it's a nice environment. One thing I do have to say is that everyone's costume game was weak AF
Yes,
this year.
we can agree on that.
Well, maybe because you were going so early. When did you go?
I mean, we just
I
went
don't
last
even-
week, so it was
In
a
October?
week into October.
Yeah.
Or it was October 5th, I think. But everyone was wearing t-shirt costumes.
And that's what they were selling at that store when we went to
Yeah.
go meet Mickey.
I think Disney's
We pulled
kind of
all the
pushing that.
all the stops for costumes, so we were.
So tell us what your costume was.
I was Freddie Mercury from Live Aid 1985, which it's tank top and mustache, and thanks to Stephanie over here for making the
studded armband.
Bryan is making hand movements like everyone's gonna see what he's doing.
It's part of how I talk. I'm sorry.
Bryan's talking with his hands, which is
This
funny.
is his first podcast ever in life, right?
Yes.
Sometimes people film their podcast though,
Yeah.
but we have not gone to that stuff. But
Not yet.
not yet. What were you, Steph?
I was a unicorn, and oh gosh, my costume, it was so hot. I had on this long, like I bought a wig, like a long...
A lace front, your first lace front.
Yeah, and it looked so nice. Like, it really did look nice, but it was so hot. It was really long. It was like the hair was like down past my boobs, and it was like full, and it was heavy and hot, and then I had a lot of makeup on. I had eyelashes, I had a tutu, and then I wore these like black combat boots, and they hurt my feet so bad. Like, literally, my feet were, like, blistered and black and blue. Yeah. So, that was a bad shoe choice. I thought they were going to be comfortable because they were flat and they were just, like, you know, they weren't tight or anything. Like, I don't know, but that kind of impinged on my evening a little bit. But that is definitely one of my favorite Halloween activities.
Still a good time.
It goes so fast, though. I feel like I wish it was a little bit longer.
Yeah, I wish it went to like 1 or 2.
All right. Well, the next one we have is... This is my new favorite discovery. Probably in the past 4 years I've found it. It's called a Petrified Forest, and these are 2 walkthrough trails in Altamont Springs. We haven't gone yet this year.
Well, we went last year.
We went last year, and I went like probably the 2 years before that. But this one is pretty legit.
Yeah.
Like, this one really reminds me of, like, going through, you know, some Halloween stuff that I would have done back home in Pennsylvania.
So why do they call it Petrified?
Because it's, like, literally in the woods, and it's, like, a walk-through trail, and they built it through the woods. So you're literally walking through, like, trees and stuff, but they've built, like, little huts where they put characters, and they build scenes, and they have like a school bus, like an old school bus that they put in there,
and
you like go up in the bus. Yeah, it's walk through. Yeah. So you can purchase a single trail for $15, or you can get 2 for $25. And then they have a backstage tour for $10, which they do like before the event starts. They'll walk you through like all the scenes that they built and like show you like where the characters like hang out and like jump out and stuff like that. And then they have a really cool event that I've always wanted to do. It's called Total Eclipse, and they do this after Halloween. They do it on November 1st and 2nd, and they give 1 light stick per party, and they turn all the lights out in the trail, and you have to make it through the whole house with only the light stick, and the people that work in the house are trying to grab the light stick off of you.
Oh, hell no.
So
I would do it.
Once you lose your light stick, you have no light to make it through the trail.
What?
And I've always wanted to do it, but I just never have. But it sounds cool.
I would do it.
Y'all can do it and let me know how
I'm
it goes.
just afraid I would like fall and bust my ass, because there's like, you know, there's roots and stuff, like the trees that are humped up and there's holes and there's
it's
like
the forest.
Yeah.
Swampland.
So, I mean, yeah.
That seems fun. I would do that.
But what do you think about that? Like, so the stuff you grew up in that York, so you're used to those backwood type.
I love all that
events
stuff.
too.
I mean, I'm a big fan of haunted hay rides, and it's that time of season up there. And I did an event up there where it was like a treasure hunt. You had to find certain things in certain mazes and everything, and they're trying to grab you and everything like that. But I like all that stuff. My
only complaint about Petrified Forest is it's kind of short.
Yeah,
like
it's really
not
short.
You have to pay per entry, so it's
and where
not
is
like
it exactly
unlimited.
Again?
It's in Altamont Springs. It's like right off I-4. It's not very far when you get off the Altamont exit.
Okay.
So,
Is it get pretty crazy, like busy? Or?
Yeah, I've been there. When I went last year, I think I went early in the season, but I think probably right now it's getting to be at the height of its busyness as we get closer to Halloween. Yeah. So yeah, I've waited in maybe 20 or 30 minutes to get into the trail, but it's one where they let you go in as a party and they stop the line and you get to experience it, you know, on your own. And they also have live bands there, and they have like fair food. They have face painting and stuff like that. So you could hang out there like once you're done with the trails if you want to hang out and eat and watch the band.
So is it scarier than
I think it is, but it's just not as
not
much.
on par.
It's just like a little teeny shot of scariness.
Yeah.
Because when you go to Universal, it's like a whole night. Like, you're going through haunted house after haunted house after haunted house, and then when you're not in the haunted house, you're in a scare zone. So it's like...
I would put this on par with, like, a scare zone, but you're in, like, on a trail.
I like it. It's just, to me, I like a lot. This is kind of like a 2-hour event. Yeah. You know, if you're going to eat and socialize. So this is kind of like a short, like a taste of Halloween.
Right.
But I like it. I like it because it's local and it's not commercial, and it's, you know, it's good price too. $25 for 2 trails. Yeah. And pro tip, if you get online early, they do Groupons like early in the season. Okay. But I mean, it's limited, so you know they might release like 100 or so. Right. And once they're sold out, they're sold out. But you can, if you buy it like at the end of probably September, they release it. Mm-hmm. I never get on time to get the deal, but so I saved the best for last. Last night, Bryan and I drove to Dade City, which is...
I was going to say, where is Dade City exactly?
It's above Tampa. It's
above Tampa, but it's... Yeah.
It was like an hour and a half drive, I think. Yeah. But the problem is that it was mostly back roads. Yeah. So you can take like I-4 so far. You don't want to take it all the way to Tampa. Maybe like a little past Lakeland. Yeah, and then you have to get off and drive like a half hour, 45 minutes on these back roads.
On these desolate roads.
And it was called Scream-A-Geddon.
Oh, man.
And this has the Stephanie stamp of approval. This is the best Halloween event I've ever been to in my whole life. Wow. Scary as fuck. Yeah. Best haunted house I've ever been in. Wow. 33 years of life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was intense.
So, and this wasn't a bad price either. So they have, the prices, it varies. So if you go on the weekends, it's more, and closer to Halloween, it's more. But the prices start at $21.95. And they sell also VIP tickets, which they give you like a lanyard, and you get like, they have a special Fast Pass lane, which on the night we went on a weekday, and it wasn't crowded at all. No. So there was really no need for it. But maybe if you go on the weekend, it might be more crowded. I would say if you go, because they had really big queue lines set up. So what's the price? I'm guessing on the weekend it was $21.95
for all.
For everything,
for the whole thing.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And then also, if you're going by your ticket online, because it's $5 cheaper online, and but parking is $10 there. Okay. And you can also buy a parking pass online if you don't have cash to pay when you roll in.
So this is out in the forest as well.
Oh, this is deep.
Oh, this is deep backcountry.
Deep in the woods, like deep. And this is another pro tip. You need to bring bug spray because you will get eaten alive.
Yeah, once you said, I think I'm getting eaten. More like
we ended up having to buy...
So you didn't have any?
No, but we bought some there.
The gift shop had Deep Woods wipes.
It was called that? Deep Woods?
It was called Off Deep Woods. And they were like these little wipes that you could wipe the insect repellent on you.
It worked.
Yeah, it did work. But unfortunately, they already made the buffet of me before I got the wipes. So I have a lot of bug bites on me.
But it was worth it.
I'm starting to itch just thinking about it.
And another pro tip is to bring supplies to make s'mores, because they had a whole bunch of campfires there. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the atmosphere. When we first walk in, we were just like, oh my God, they have campfires. So they have like little tables set up, and they have like 4 campfires, and then they have like these string lights around the area.
Now
with
Stephanie
picnic
is
tables.
using her hands.
But I'm using verbal words too.
I know.
Okay, so there's like, it's like a donut. There's like, in the middle is where everyone can sit, eat. Mm-hmm. They have vendors. They have like games, carnival games. Tables. Yeah. So they had popcorn.
Kettle corn.
Oh
yeah, they had.
You guys got some kettle corn?
Oh yeah.
I finished.
I wonder how much they make. I wonder how much they make, and like how much, like, can they live on some of this like throughout the year? You know what I mean? Like, or is it just a passion project?
I don't know. It's kind of a big deal to be a passion project. It's kind of a lot of work put into it.
Yeah, I wonder if they.
So this place had 5 houses, and I wouldn't.
So were they all outdoors or the inside? How did that work?
2 of them were indoors, and the rest of them were outdoors.
So what kind of buildings were they in?
I thought
like regular plywood and like just like
So they make
scenes,
the buildings for.
I thought the two buildings looked like airplane hangars.
Well, the two buildings for Blackpool Prison and Rage 3D, they were already they are like airplane hangars.
You know where like a big door comes up.
Yeah,
right.
It was
and
like
then
a garage.
that's like a garage.
So it's not a temporary building. It's there.
No, it's not a temporary. But I don't. But then I'm thinking like, why would there be airplane hangars out in the middle of no fucking where? Because we were
crop
literally
dusting.
That's that's the reason why.
I mean, maybe.
Well, I mean, if there's a lot of farming out there, there's a hay.
Yeah, maybe it was for farm equipment.
Farm equipment.
Crop dusting, the plane.
Tractors and stuff.
And then the rest of them were just made of like plywood like a
and,
lot of work still, even though they were out.
And banners and vinyl. It was.
So what made it so scary?
Oh man.
Okay, so let's start with. We're gonna go in order of the houses that we went through. First one.
Rage 3D, which was like a...
this was the lamest one in my opinion.
It was the lamest one. It was still kind of cool, but it was like, meh. It had the glow paint, and
they gave you glasses.
They gave you glasses and everything, and a lot of it was it was clown-themed, and they played loud techno music, and they had strobe lights, and just a bunch of... The girls seemed to all dress like Harley Quinn, and just were all like laughing, like, "Hi, you want to play?" And then you went to I think the best room was the end room. It was a mirror maze full of fake clowns and real clowns.
So you didn't know, and you know when a strobe light hits you, and it's like you see only every other second. So 1 minute something is far from you, and then the next minute it's right in your face.
Yeah.
And you don't really know which clowns are real and which clowns aren't.
It had that effect.
And then you can't really figure out how to get out because you just get into this open room with mirrors all on the wall, and you can't find the hole to get out.
It was a good starter house. I think it just kind of
eased us in.
It just eased us in for what happens next.
So do they have a specific order that you need to go through, or you could have chosen your order?
We chose our...
we
chose our order. We just kind of went from right to left.
And some of them didn't open till later. The ones that were outdoors didn't open till later because when we got there, it was still a little bit light out.
They went away for total
So the
darkness.
ones that were indoors, you were allowed to start with those ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then number two.
Oh,
damn.
The best one of all.
Jeez.
What was it called?
Blackpool Prison. You can go with your story first, and then I'll tell you mine. Oh my god.
Okay, so this one was like a special attraction where if you want to be, as what they said, interactive with the show, you will put a light necklace around your neck. And that means that you allow them to touch you, grab you, withhold you, put you in contained areas, and separate you from your party.
Our hands went immediately up for it. We were like, oh
yeah! I'm all about that. So as you're in line, you're listening to this recording where they're telling you over and over again the risks and what could happen, and they're like, if you choose to do this, you give up all liability for injury, death, mental harm.
Hold on a glow necklace to become part of the show. By wearing a glow necklace, you explicitly consent to being touched, grabbed, removed from your group, and forced to remain. Again, by wearing a glow necklace, you explicitly consent to being touched, grabbed, removed from your group, and forced to remain. You also agree to release this facility from any and all claims of injury, death, or other physical or mental harm as a result of your decision. You must be at least 18 years old to wear a glow necklace. Choose wisely.
It reminded me of Mission Space going, if you're prone to sickness and everything, and it was...
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
So we put the necklaces on, and we go in, and it was prison themed. So you go in, and it's there's cells, and there's prisoners. And so I'm almost immediately when I walked in, this guy grabs me by the arm. You see this
Is that
bruise?
why you have bruises?
Yeah,
see this bruise on my
Oh
arm?
my gosh.
Grabs me, slams me against the wall, puts both of my arms above my head, holding my wrist, and he's screaming in my face where I'm feeling the spit. And
did he have a mint? Did he have fresh breath?
Thank God his breath was not terrible, but I could smell it. His hot breath was right in my face. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to is he about to kiss me? Are we about to am I about to get sexually assaulted right now? And it wasn't for it was for a little while. It wasn't just a quick thing.
Wow.
And then he pushed me into this room, and I had to duck down, And then he was, Bryan was gone somewhere else.
Yeah, they separated us, like, I think 5 times. I think this whole experience...
Did you come back together?
Yeah, so basically they pull you aside to these little rooms and then you go back to the main path. But sometimes you do, because the way the maze is, you lose each other.
Yeah,
because
well, we had these glow necklaces, so I just see Stephanie had a yellow tank top on yesterday. She was behind me, and all of a sudden I just see her get pushed towards a wall, and I was like, oh no! Oh my god, they're starting already. It was...
It's starting.
It was really intense.
I mean, yeah.
But I really liked it because it felt like...
It was a one.
Thank God, I have to say, thank God I've never been in any kind of situations in my life where I've been in danger. No one's ever harmed me, raped me. I've never been in any military situations. But being in a situation where you feel fearful, it's kind of exhilarating. I mean, I guess because it's controlled, I can feel that way. But it's like I've never experienced that before, ever. I've never experienced somebody like trapping me or like being mean to me, or like
multiple times too.
Yes.
Too. They put us both.
They put us both in this black box and shut the door.
And then they separated us again.
And then they laid you in a
I had a little
in
bit
a dentist chair.
It seems like they have a lot of time on their
Well,
hands.
I had a little.
He had this like tool,
pliers.
like he was like coming at your
He's gonna
mouth.
come after my mouth with it.
And he like grabbed him and pushed him into this dentist chair. And then this guy grabbed my neck and he was like, "Let me lick your face."
Yeah, he got to me too.
Did he lick your face?
No, but he almost did.
He almost did.
I thought he was
too.
going to. I
and
was
then
like,
that guy,
I hope he doesn't.
And then that guy and another guy threw me into a cell and told me to lay down on the mattress. And I was like, this is terrifying. And then, oh my god, I had done one other haunted house where they were allowed to touch you, and when they were allowed to touch you, it's nothing more like a grab on your shirt or come over here, and they're kind of almost like leading you. So that's the mindset I was going into this. It was like a WWE match in there. I was getting pushed into
rough,
the wall. We were getting pushed. We were getting screamed at. It was like a military.
Yeah, I got out of that house. I was
like,
my arm hurts, and then I looked down at it, and I'm like, oh my
yeah,
gosh,
because I was wondering.
bruised.
I was wondering how you got those bruises because I saw, but I wasn't gonna ask on air like, oh, Steph, how'd you get those bruises? But I thought, oh, well, maybe she got them from working out or something.
Oh no. She got it from getting slammed into a wall on a Halloween maze.
It was rough in that prison.
Go back and do it again. See, I didn't.
Can you repeat the houses if you want?
Yeah, you can repeat the houses.
It was.
That's what I liked about this place too. That you could go.
So how many times did you go to that one?
We just went
once.
We
went once to all of them because I would have done it again, but I would not have that glow necklace on me.
I wanted to
way
do it
too
again.
Much.
That sounds really intense. So would you do the glow necklace again, Steph?
Yes, I would.
I would do it again, but I wouldn't do it.
Just because I really liked it so much.
Yeah. It's like,
What'd you say?
I don't know why I liked it so much. Just because I think it's an experience I've never ever had, and the fact that. But because we got split up, I ended up doing a lot of the house alone. Mm-hmm. So that was like so scary for me, and it felt like it made the experience exactly what I wanted it to be.
Like
scary.
you were in your like own horror movie.
Yeah, it was really fun. I liked it a lot.
And this is the cool thing that they do for these houses too. They have a timer. They had 30-second intervals for when the next. So
the person at the beginning of the house that was the worker, they don't let you in.
They don't let you in, so you don't even see anything.
You have to. They time you out between parties.
Gotcha.
Which is something Horror Nights should do, but
we'd be here till Christmas
right.
trying to get people through the houses.
We had 2 people with us that didn't have a necklace, and they were kind of like laughing, and I heard them say, "Oh my god!" And then I didn't see them the rest of the time, and I was like, "Bye, see you later." It was.
Oh, and they were cursing too.
Cursing, yeah.
Like this was a rated R experience.
Yeah, I don't know how.
They were like, "Sit the fuck down."
Yeah.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
It was rough.
I felt like I'm like, where's the permit to
where is the police?
And yeah, exactly. It was like that, but it was.
Now I'm understanding the whole death, injury, and mental harm sign at the beginning.
I grabbed my necklace right off and just yelled, "What the fuck was that?" And everybody was like, "What the hell happens in there?"
When we were waiting in line to get in, some guy was running out the exit and he tripped and fell, like trying to scramble out.
And we were like 5 people going into our. And then I think I said to you, "I'm like, I wonder why he's running." Oh, well, we found out 8 minutes later.
And what was the name of that one?
Blackpool Prison.
We have some audio clips too that we might insert.
Yeah.
I took audio of like 4 of the houses.
It was great.
So yeah, I'm interested to go back and listen to your Blackpool because I have the full recording of Blackpool. So maybe we'll slice that.
Oh, I see what I want. Come here, Frankenstein! Sit down, Frankenstein! Please! Don't you know I am? You gotta help, please! Oh, you sit down, we're gonna need you! Right this way, princess. We got you nice and right in there. Get on in there. Get on in there, bird. Get it. Get him out of here. Okay. Come on. Get him in there. Let's get him out. Oh, shit. Now, shit, get him. Down again. Extra crispy. Get on out of here. Where you going? Yeah. You're almost down! Where you going? You ain't leaving. What are you doing here? Yeah, myself up. Come here. Where's the key? Don't make me chase you.
So, what was the next one we did after that?
We did Dead Woods after the haunted, the walking trail.
So this one was kind of scary, and this one kind of gave me a taste of what it might be like to do the total eclipse at the Petrified Forest, because it was a completely dark trail. They gave us both. We had one single glow stick between the two of us to make it through the house. And it was just literally a trail through the woods, like some Blair Witch shit.
I was excited for this one.
And every, I don't know, like 100 feet, there would be like a little house built that you would go through, like a scene. Yeah. So you would go in and it would be like, one scene was like a butcher, like where you go in and this guy. The scenes
were pretty much
it was like a bunch of rednecks. A bunch of hillbillies. And they were like, they had animals hanging from the ceiling that they had killed and like took the fur off of. And he had like a cleaver knife.
It was very, every house we walked into, what you doing in my house? And it was like, we kept mocking that.
I'm going to put you on my butcher block.
Put you on my butcher block. And
one of them was, you open it was a outhouse. So you get to the house and you have to open the door to go through it. Uh-huh. And it's like, you know how an outhouse has the little crescent moon? Mm-hmm. And you hear like audio of like wet farts. So you have to open the door, you walk in and it's like dark and there's like, you see the hole where you would go to the bathroom in and it was like gross and there was like noises coming out of it. So you just walk through. There was nobody in that one, but you keep walking down the path more.
There were, and it was every few feet, and then.
But that one was truly scary because the whole time I thought people were going to be laying in the ground, was behind you, grabbing at my feet.
One was behind you. You were talking to me on the trail between the two houses. You're like, "I hate when like people will just come like right up next to you and make a noise." And this guy had
that noise.
That camouflage type suit
where
on.
It's like leaves
goes
and
right
stuff.
behind her and goes. And
like when they
she jumped.
It just makes my spine crawl when they make that noise right in your ear. It's not even like
a jump scare. It's
and
just
you can
like
hear
right
you can hear it, and then you feel their hot breath, and they're like,
and the spine just goes like right this. But that one was pretty cool. That was a cool one.
And then what was the next one we did after that?
Well, after
The
our kettle
asylum?
corn popcorn break.
We had a popcorn break.
Took a popcorn break.
And a water.
Yep. And we did
So it was hot.
Demon's Revenge, which I really liked. And that was...
That one you entered in, and it was like a church.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, it was kind of like that theme.
Very, stuff with like the Antichrist and like, almost kind of like how the Nun is with the Conjuring. I thought it was cool.
It was
a
okay.
really cool theme one.
And then
our final one was Infected Zombie Outbreak, which I really liked.
And that was another one where you could wear a necklace.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, we said
didn't.
We're not going to wear the necklace. Mm-hmm. If we see that it would be better with the necklace, we'll go back and do it again.
Sure.
And I'm glad we didn't, because this one was not nearly as intense.
Nearly as intense as Blackpool Prison.
They sent us in. There was 2 girls in front of us and then us, so they sent us in as a party of 4. They wore the necklaces, and we basically stayed with them the whole time. Mm-hmm. There was like 2 rooms that they pulled them aside to.
And they got dragged into like 2 tents and then right back out.
And there were just like tents where, you know, like people with hazmat suits, they're like, oh, we have to spray,
like
you're infected, lay down, you're quarantined.
Yeah.
But then like, I ended up wandering into the tent behind her because I thought that's where we were all going. Yeah, it was not nearly. They didn't
it was
grab.
A cool
they didn't.
thing.
They basically just grabbed them by the wrist and like guided them.
Yeah.
It was not nearly.
Not nearly.
So
as
we were like, well, we don't need to go back and do that with the necklace.
But I did like.
And then at the end
was a chainsaw.
You get in a maze where the people above you have chainsaws.
Mm. And like in there, and that's another time we got split up because it was all white sheets with like
the biohazardous symbol on it.
It was amazing. We were like stuck in there for 4 minutes, and we got separated, and chainsaws in every corner. I liked that part. That was cool.
That was scary.
It was a good time. It was totally worth it.
For sure, the
Blackpool Prison
was
oh my
the best.
Gosh.
This sounds really intense.
It was very intense.
They also had a little stand where they were doing, what do you call that thing?
Hatchet throwing.
So for $7, you could go and throw a hatchet at a little person.
Yeah.
Did you do it?
No, I didn't want to waste.
And there was another
$7.
one. There was the big thing was
zombie
paintball. But they took what we had seen. They had taken a school bus. But I think they go. I forgot where you go. You go. Like,
get on the property. You get on the school bus and they take you elsewhere on the property.
Yeah. I think you're shooting the paintball guns from the school bus, and like you're shooting at zombies.
Gotcha.
But it was like I forgot. I think.
And we were talking to some folks in line, and they said
some folks.
We were out there.
We were in folks' country.
We
were talking to some folks, and they told us that last year they had a hayride.
Oh yeah, we got pumped for that, and then.
But she said they switched out the hayride for the paintball.
So outside of the house, was it a friendly environment in terms of did you meet some people, or how was the staff?
It was awesome because there was barely anyone there. It was just how I like it. It was like nobody there. I mean, there was
5 campfires going on. And
it wasn't like
So were the campfires empty? Did they have seats around them, or
no? There were just picnic tables.
Okay.
So it was like a grassy area with campfires and picnic tables. And then there was just like no lines for snacks. So anytime we wanted a snack or a drink, we went right up, got what we wanted.
They had their own beer
always a table to sit down. Like nobody was being stupid. Nobody was being loud and annoying.
There were scare actors around, so they would follow us.
Yeah, there were people walking around.
Okay.
They'd come to your table and everything. One took a hatchet and like went right next to Stephanie.
On the table.
Yeah, and left a mark too.
Really?
On the table, but it was
like a big meat cleaver. He had like a bloody apron, like he was cutting meat.
Yeah.
That's kind of dangerous to just be walking around with a sharp hack.
Knowing what happened in Blackpool Prison,
I'd like
to see your.
Are they licensed?
Is this real?
But yeah, the environment was just really nice. Now I can't speak for what it would look like on a weekend, but what was yesterday? Thursday.
Yesterday was Thursday.
So on a Thursday, that was. Perfect.
I'd go back to this.
Are they open only certain nights, or are they open?
I think they're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Gotcha.
You have to check the website.
I think towards this time they're open
all the time.
I think so, but like they're only open till like 11 during the week, but then like 1 a.m. on weekends. Okay. Very Horror Nights like schedule.
The only downside to this place was the drive.
Yeah, well, the drive there was good, but the drive back was my mistake when I don't know how the check mark for avoids tolls and avoids highways was there, so we took nothing but back roads back.
Really?
And Stephanie was like dozing off. She's like, "This man, we're not even home yet." And then I pulled over to the side of the road, and I'm like, "Oh, it avoids highways." And by the time I unchecked it, it was like, "You're too far from I-4. You might as well keep going."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Back roads the whole way home.
Then I'm worried we're gonna hit an animal or a deer.
Oh yeah, I'm always worried about that.
So like I'm so tired I don't want to sleep, but then like I have to stay awake because I have to be on animal watch.
Yeah.
But then I just
Who drove?
anyway.
You drove?
I drove, but we all made it home safely. You text me when you're home. You text me a little jack-o'-lantern. Thanks for a fun night. I was like, all right, we're alive.
Did you have nightmares?
No, I actually didn't have nightmares.
I liked it. It was just I couldn't do Blackpool Prison like interactive like a second time in an hour. Like I'm just I'm good.
I loved it. I mean, so just pro tips: just bring your bug spray and bring
Do
some.
they have an
s'more
Instagram?
Supplies. Yeah, they do have an Instagram, but it doesn't seem to be very active.
Okay.
Because I was, we were thinking we might not actually be able to go because
of the hurricane.
we had the hurricane
Yeah,
hit this
I remember
week.
you talking about that. So you called them and you checked to...
Yeah, Bryan called.
I called them and I was just playing like dumb tourist. I'm like, "Hey, what are your hours open tonight?" They're like 7:30. And then they literally said, "Come on down."
Come on
down.
Like, all right, well, we'll be there.
So
It was
the weather
very
has
cool.
been. I mean, here, the hurricane hit like over near like Tampa, like that side of
It
Florida.
Well, it was more northern
Panhandle.
Florida.
But
like
they were still
Tallahassee.
getting really bad. We here in Orlando got really bad rain and wind past couple days, so I assumed the weather might not be so great there. But it was. I mean, it was
a
just super
perfect night.
hot. It was hot.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was hot.
We were okay. We prevailed.
So that's all I have on the list of Halloween activities. I'm sure there's tons more in Orlando, but these are the ones that I've discovered.
Well, I think that's kind of a good handful of activities.
But I will definitely be going back to Scream-A-Geddon.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
For sure. You get 10 stars, Scream-A-Geddon.
Yep, it was great. Gotta leave them a Yelp review.
So Stephanie, during the podcast, has been having this candle going. What is this candle? Because it's really good.
It's called Sweater Weather by Bath &
Do they
Body
have it
Works.
this year?
Oh, they have it every year.
They have it every year.
I love Bath & Body Works candles.
Me too.
Above all candles, I've tried them all, even above Yankee. This is the only
Agreed.
candle that scents my whole house.
And the good thing about the Bed Bath & Beyond candles is that they're 3-wicked, so they burn really evenly.
Yes, and they burn all the way to the bottom. You don't have any waste.
And they fill the entire house with
I wanted to set the mood for fall.
And then
I also brought
she brought her little figurine, her Halloween figurines.
a Halloween pals.
that make noise. We're gonna have to post. We're gonna have to post these so people can know what they look like.
What's going on over there?
For sure. These are my little buddies. I've had them for a long time.
Something else that is a pro tip that I didn't buy anything, but I was at Trader Joe's earlier this week, and they had really good pumpkins and gourds for really good prices.
Yeah, that's one thing I have to say about Orlando. It's fun. It's hard to find a pumpkin here. Like, I love carving pumpkins, but it's really hard to find one that isn't like crazily priced or
Well, Trader Joe's had some good mini pumpkins, like some white ones, some of the orange ones, and then
for
gourds
decoration.
for decoration, and they were really good price, under like $1 each. Like just a couple of, well, not a couple cents, but 60 cents for one. I thought it was a really good deal if you wanted to decorate
Decorate it for your table, your Thanksgiving table, or your porch.
But yeah, I think that
Plus, they probably have a whole pumpkin blowout now. Like, I feel like they have pumpkin everything around this time.
Oh yeah, Trader
Pumpkin
Joe's,
butter,
yeah,
pumpkin
Sprite,
cookies, pumpkin-
flavored pumpkin flavors everywhere. Yeah, that's how it is. But no, I think that I think we have good events here in this area and some unique events. Whether you want the commercial tourist experience with Disney and Universal, or obviously there's some good things in the backwoods and even up in Altamont Springs. It's not so far away. Is there any other places that you want to try, or that you want to try? I know, what does Busch Gardens have anything?
Yeah.
They do. I went years ago. So when Christy worked at Aquatica, she was able to take me. We went on a preview night for free, both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool, but it's very, very similar to Universal's event. It's very commercial. Everything's very elaborate. It's very crowded. But it's still cool if you live in that area.
I've always wanted to try it.
Probably the pricing is about the same as far as a one day. I don't know if they offer the frequent fear.
And then I was just looking up. SeaWorld has their spooktacular.
I've not been to that, but
which it's more for kids. It's very kiddie, but if you want to take your kids, and I think they have like a trick or treat trail. So if you're like an annual pass holder, you might as well get your money's worth and go get some free candy.
Because it's not like Disney where it's a separate ticket. It's just
right. It's
on
just part
select
of
nights of their regular operating.
That's what I like, because and we'll have an episode about Disneyland Paris, because I went to Disneyland Paris, but their Halloween stuff was included in the regular admission. So I got to see the Halloween festivities as part of my regular admission, which was really nice. And I think it's similar at Disneyland too. I don't think Disneyland in California has a separate ticketed Halloween experience.
I think they do now.
They do now?
Yeah, they do
in
now.
the past they hadn't, but I liked that I could see the Halloween stuff as part of my regular ticket at Disneyland Paris. And it was really cute.
I can't wait to see the footage of the parade that you filmed for me.
Yes, and we need to have a whole episode about it. But thank you guys so much. Thanks, Bryan, for coming.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
And I can't believe we're already on episode 17, even though we would have been even further if we hadn't
if Bryan didn't have
3
to
weeks
fucking
off.
travel the world at all times, like on a European vacation, on a Vegas vacation.
But I'm happy to be back, and we're gonna keep plugging away on these episodes. And please remember to follow us on Instagram at Orlando Out of Context. Visit us at orlandooutofcontext.com, and then listen and subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. And don't forget to leave us those reviews on iTunes. We appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you around.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy Halloween.
Bryan, you have to say bye.
Bye.